Ethiopia, has state enhanced the security at the U.S. Embassy in the capital, and also you mentioned yesterday that the State Department could provide a repatriation loan for U.S. citizens wanting to leave, and has encouraged U.S. citizens to leave. Does the department have an idea on the number of U.S. citizens or LPRs in Ethiopia who currently want to leave?
In terms of our embassy, as you know, we went to a status that we call order departure, a status through which we're able to draw down some of our embassy personnel. The embassy does, however, remain open. We are prioritizing services to the American citizen community in Ethiopia because, as you alluded to, we have for several days now been urging American citizens in Ethiopia to avail themselves of the commercial options that remain available to leave Ethiopia. The security situation is tenuous, and there is a window for Americans to depart via commercial airlines from the international airport in Addis Ababa. The embassy is keeping a close eye on availability of seats on these commercial flights. Over the past several days, there have been a dozen or more commercial flights with capacity, and we have been working to support those Americans who are in Ethiopia who wish to leave. As you said as well, we are offering repatriation loans for Americans who may wish to leave but don't have the upfront funds to pay for that. We are able to process U.S. passports and consular reports of birth abroad for those preparing to depart, and the embassy does remain able to provide these services. Of course, wherever the security situation is somewhat tenuous, we keep a close eye on conditions. Should those conditions change, the status of our embassy could well change as well. But at this point, we understand that there is calm in and around Addis, and again, the commercial airport remains open with commercial flights available with excess capacity. Barbara.
Can you say anything about whether there's any more interest in talking about negotiations or a ceasefire from either party in Ethiopia, since neither have publicly mentioned it or moved in that direction? And I also have a question from one of my colleagues who isn't here, but if you want to just do that first.
Look, in terms of these negotiations, this is not something that we're going to live cast. These are discussions that are being had between Ethiopian officials, government, TPLF and associated forces, and the African Union. These are discussions that we've also had in private as well, not only with various Ethiopian elements, but also with regional parties. But we're not going to speak to the positions of the various parties. We will leave it to them to characterize their positions. Again, we are lending our support, we are lending our good offices, we are lending our diplomacy and the catalytic power that entails to the efforts of the AU, President Obasanjo, and others with whom we're working around the clock to try to facilitate a cessation of hostilities.
And then I have a